Arranging data in chronological order is usually done in ascending order. For example, you start with your smallest number and work to your highest, or descending order, where you start the other way around, from the highest number and work down. We've already discussed how you can arrange the data set, if it's small enough, just by eyeing the different components of it. If there are very few pieces in the data set, you might be able to do it without any help of a chart or a graph. But the line plot, where we put the X's over the numbers, is very helpful if the data set is small to medium. But when we get into a large data set of numbers, for example, like this, there's something else that's called a stem and leaf plot. And like I say, that is helpful for numbers where you have a quantity of data. So this is how a stem and leaf plot works. We're going to have the stem side of it, and on this side, the leaf. When we take a look at our data set of numbers, I'm looking at the leaf being the ones column, and the rest of it being the stem side. In this case, we only have two-digit numbers, so the tens column would be our stem, and our ones column would be the leaf side. So looking over our data set of numbers, we have got 40s, the 30s, the 70s. Here's a teen number that we have. 80s. I'm looking for the higher and lower stems. So I know I'm going to be needing the teens. I see 80s. Are there any 90s? Yes, there's a 90 in this one. Okay, so when we come back to our stem, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 as our stem numbers. Now the leaf numbers then, pretty much this side of your paper is sort of eyeballed halfway, maybe. We're only looking for the solid line to the edge. And I'm trying to figure out where my halfway point is on there. So I'm just going to draw a little dotted line just so I remember that this is about the halfway mark. So the number 42, I would go to my stem in my 40s and then judge that the 2 would be pretty much between the halfway mark and the number itself. So I would put a 2 maybe here. So that data point is done. 37, I would now go to my stem 30 and figure the 7 would be on the other side of the dotted line, so perhaps the 37 would be here. Okay, so our 37 is done. 76, go to the 70s in the stem, and 6, if I wrote the number out, 76, it would be probably about here. 45, I'm back to my 40 stem, and the 5 would probably go right on the dotted line. 14 would probably be about here. 40, that would be right up against this solid line. Okay, 53 maybe about here. 85, I would go to my 80 stem, and my 5 would be here. 19, 81 to my 8 stem, and 81, probably there. I'm leaving myself a little room because maybe I'll have an 80 data point and I would have to squeeze it in before the 1. All right, 66. Here's my 60 stem, and 66 would be about there. 37, I already have a 37, but here's another one. So I'm going to put a little comma between that. 38, stay with it. 74, about there. 49 into the 40 stem and over here to the 9. 69, way over here. 99. 28. You see what's happening with this? If I keep going,